absolutely. Drake is 100% without a doubt to me. I think the artist of the decade, and I would be very curious as to who would even be in the running. I know you threw a couple names out there. You said Beyonce, you said Adele. I know you said Kanye. I'm not sure how serious you were about either one of those. And beyond the diversity musically that Drake brings to the table, the singing, the rapping, one of the other things that, is fitting is the fact that Billboard in particular was the one giving out this award, right? Billboard is the people who only care about numbers. And Drake, I believe he has more number ones than the Beatles. Drake, brother. Drake.
Let's talk about Drake. I'm always down to talk about Drake. Aren't you?
Why not?
Drizzy Drake Rogers, aka Champagne Poppy, aka what else do they call him? What was his old nickname? Drizzy Drake Rogers.
Drizzy Drake Rogers.
What else can we call him?
Only the day ones know that name.
Aubrey.
Young Angel, Young Lion.
Young Angel, Young Six God.
Six God, yeah.
Six God, yeah. So whatever the hell you want to call him, he was actually giving.
Wait, hold on. Wait, sorry. What was that show he was on again? I forget. What was the show he was on?
Degrassi.
Well, wasn't his name Jimmy in that show?
Jimmy, it was Jimmy. Yeah.
Hey, Jimmy, that was another. It's like, nah, nobody calls him that. I never watched Degrassi, by the way. That wasn't
Wheelchair Jimmy. I never watched.
That was never a show I was on.
People always say how good it was. I was a Saved by the Bell guy, so yeah, so apparently your boy Drizzy Drake Rogers won an award for Billboard Artist Decade of the Year. Sorry, I said Decade of the Year.
Yo, come on, act like you've done this before, man. Act like you've done this before, bro. Come on, man.
Drake, they named him Artist of the Decade. So I agree with that, by the way. I think he is Artist of the Decade. Do you agree with him getting this Artist of the Decade award?
Of course. It's not even.
It's not an of course.
No, it isn't. It is, of course. And don't you dare.
I just like playing devil's advocate.
You have nobody to even put in the conversation to legitimately overthrow.
Are you kidding me? Who? Beyonce dropped some stuff.
Over Drake?
Beyonce dropped some stuff.
Over Drake?
Adele. Who else do we got? Artist of the Decade? Adele. Kanye. We're talking 10 years, brother. Drake was.
I'm with you. So we're talking. Okay, so let's define it. So we're talking about. I'm assuming they went from 2010 or 2011 to now, right?
I'm assuming.
Yeah, let's just go with that. Kanye dropped My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Yes, he did.
I believe 2010.
Yeah. And
followed by
808 Heartbreak.
No, maybe. That was before.
Was that 08? Okay.
No, yeah, that was before. Right after that, I believe it was Yeezus.
He dropped all them other ones. Yeezus,
Life of Pablo.
Yay.
No,
Kanye's a little.
He's not in this cover.
Kanye's a little. Beyonce dropped Lemonade. Beyonce dropped self-titled Beyonce. Lemonade. I can argue with you. Lemonade is a top 5 album of all time. But I can argue with you.
What?
But she dropped Lemonade.
Don't argue
Lemonade.
that.
I can
don't argue that.
Lemonade is a top 5 album of all time.
You ain't going. Matter of fact, I'm not arguing with you on that. That's just wrong.
That is a great, fantastic album
of all time.
It goes like this for me. That and Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, they're like they neck and neck. Those are two, I think, undeniable A albums. You just don't like women artists, so it's you always
you see these fucking narratives. Why would you? The minute somebody disagrees, you create a narrative that's incorrect.
Because you're the only one that said it's ridiculous that Lemonade was not an A.
I didn't say that. That's not what I said. Okay. You see what I'm saying? Again, putting words in my mouth. I never said that. I said it's not a top 5 album of all time. What the freak? Like,
I said it's arguable. It's arguable.
Listen, Lemonade was definitely an A. Lemonade was an A. Are you kidding? A+. Are you freaking kidding me?
Okay, so
throw the freaking documentary along. That joint is an A+, bro. Are you kidding me?
The documentary was not no damn A+. Even though that you mean
yes,
the game? The game? Anyway, sorry. I'm tripping off the truly.
Nah, you wildin'. You
But
super
so
wild.
Drake. So do you agree with that? That Drake's artist of the decade?
Yes, easily. I think. I think. I don't believe there's anybody else that's more fitting than Drake to win that type of award. And like, I think everybody has kind of already known this, but it goes without saying that Drake is a pop star, bro. Drake has been a pop star since like damn near day one. This is back when he was doing the little thing with his hands, like no, like I think he was a pop star since then. I'm talking about like even one of his first singles off that first album, the one that Kanye produced, "Find Your Love." That's what it was. That's what it was called. Even attempts at music like that, like to me, you could just see early on that Drake was really going for a more global look. I mean, we've seen him make songs in damn near every genre at this point. I think in beyond the diversity musically that Drake brings to the table, the singing, the rapping, one of the other things that is fitting is the fact that Billboard in particular was the one giving out this award, right? Billboard is the people who only care about numbers. And Drake, I believe he has more number ones than the Beatles. Did he not say that in a few of his songs? Like, so you mean to tell me the Beatles, the Beatles might be white people's version of Michael Jackson. I know that's a group, but like the way older white people talk about the Beatles, bro, like it's different. You ever seen Skip Bayless talk about the Beatles, bruh? He be sweating like, oh my God, Paul McCartney. Oh my God, they're the greatest. I'm like, dude, that might be the way people talk about Drake. How the way people are going to be talking about Drake and some of these other people that have come later on down the line. But I think absolutely Drake is 100% without a doubt to me. I think the artist of the decade, and I would be very curious as to who would even be in the running. I know you threw a couple names out there. You said Beyonce, you said Adele. I'm not sure how serious you were about either one of those. I know you said Kanye, but realistically speaking, I didn't watch Billboard Awards, so I don't really. Who else was even nominated? Do you know? I can look this up right now, but I don't even know.
I don't think it was a nomination. I think it's just kind of like a lifetime achievement type thing.
They just gave it to him.
So we already knew going in, but I'm gonna
but even then behind the scenes, right before they gave him the award, right, even if it wasn't a nomination type deal, I'm assuming that there were other people that they considered, maybe not strongly, but I'm assuming there's some other people that were maybe discussed. I'm curious as to know like who else was even discussed. But go ahead, I'm done. Drake is 100% without a doubt the artist of the decade, and shout out to Drake, man. That's an accomplishment that not even Pusha T can take away from you.
I mean, I want to talk about, they say men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie, right? So, before I say that, before I give you some numbers, I'll say I agree, and I don't think it's close. And I'll tell you why I agree, but I'm going to give you some numbers real quick. So Drake's career started essentially like it took off essentially like around 2008, 2009. I am actually one of the few people that remember Replacement Girl with Trey Songz. Remember we talked about it when everybody, bro. Me and this guy have known each other for so long.
Yeah,
I used to come to his house. He used to come to my house, and majority of the time, all we did was listen to music, watch music videos, things like that, and just comment on that stuff. And after playing basketball and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I remember Replacement Girl, Drake, Trey Songz, and I at the time Trey Songz was actually bigger than him. And it was like Trey Songz was doing a favor for Drake. Remember Drake and Trey Songz had that like buddy relationship. People forget about that.
No, it was cool. Apparently they're no longer cool, but who knows?
And I remember that. By the way, remember that interview where Drake was giggling? They said, "Who do you talk to on the phone?" He was like, "I talked to this person and Trey Songz." Remember that?
I do, bro. I really do. Yo, I wish
he was doing stuff like that back then.
I wish we could just insert that clip into the episode right now.
I think even Trey Songz commented, right? Trey Songz was like, "Hey, nah, dog." But anyway,
yo, we don't talk about how much of a weirdo Drake was.
He was kind of weird.
He was a weirdo, man.
He
was a
was
weirdo.
kind of weird. He was a weird.
Drake.
He was kind of weird.
Drake filled out, man. He definitely
He was kind of weird. That beard gives you power.
For sure. But go ahead.
But essentially, what I was going to say was at that time of Replacement Girl, I did not think this guy had a future at all. I didn't think he had the look. I didn't think he had the style, the swagger. But since then, which is around 2008, 2009, essentially a decade, he has 5 studio albums, 84 music videos, 4 EPs, 139 singles, 7 mixtapes, 3 compilation albums, 3 promotional singles. His first album, Thank Me Later, went #1 in Canada, #1 in US. Second album, Take Care, #1 in US, #1 in Canada. Third album, Nothing Was the Same, #1 in US, #1 in Canada. Fourth album, Views, #1 in Canada, #1 in US. Fifth album, Scorpion, #1 in Canada, #1 in US. Do we think Certified Lover Boy is going to be #1 when it drops? Of course, it's going to be #1 when it drops. Drake has been #1 in 2 countries because people forget he's Canadian. He has dominated essentially 2 countries.
Yeah. But I want to say, like, I know you're highlighting specifically America and Canada, but let's be very clear. Drake is going #1 consistently in
other
a lot of other countries. Let's be very